the craziness with Trump is continuing, but I'm more optimistic than ever before that Trump is going to come out of this thing on top. I always believe that people who do the right thing in good faith, eventually they will rise to the top. The moment that you think you have the man down and out and for the count, as long as the man don't give up and keep faith, he will prevail. Don't get weary in well doing, because in due season you will reap if you do not give up. In the King James Version, it says, if you faint not. And that's what my declaration is for President Donald Trump. If he doesn't give up and he keeps his spirit high, we will prevail. There is sentencing on July the 15th or 16th, somewhere around there. And sentencing is going to be crucial for our movement here. When you consider Donald Trump and him being what we would consider a first-time offender, there's no way in the world that Donald Trump should spend a minute in jail for a crime, alleged crime. I think it's bullcrap, but just say for a crime that didn't involve any victims, right? The state can't be a victim and put you into prison. There is no victims. Nobody was hurt. This was a misappropriation of funds, allegedly, which by itself isn't illegal or isn't enough to bring felony charges, right? I mean, let's keep it real. Any lawyer, anybody that knows anything about anything know exactly what I'm talking about. If Donald Trump did exactly what they claim he did and he's guilty of that, it still should have never gone to court. However, you have to do that while committing an underlying crime. What is that underlying crime? Do anybody conclusively know? Paying a prostitute to keep her mouth shut in order for you to preserve your campaign, that's not a crime. That's not a crime to give somebody hush money. So whatever they've concocted to create the scenario where they're turning these misdemeanor charges into felonies, regardless of that, the case is not strong enough for Donald Trump to spend time in jail over it. Now, we all know it's a sham, so I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't try to put him behind bars. Hopefully that Manchin or Merchant, his name is pronounced differently. It's Mershon or something like that. I don't know how to say it. But hopefully he's smart enough to realize that you do not want to set the precedent that you will put a person in jail for crimes committed of this nature. I do not believe that there is any person in the history of the country that have had to serve jail time as a first-time offender for crimes of misappropriating funds with the underlying crime. I'd never seen it. I don't know if it ever exists. And this doggone ain't the right time to do that during an election year. Now, let's play the scenario if Donald Trump goes to jail. He won't go to jail for long. You put him in jail, just say he's in the jail for a year. He is a martyr forever. Just like when Peter went to jail. Just like when Paul and them got arrested. He will be a martyr forever. Just like, what's his name in Africa? What's his name? I can't think of his name. Who is it? Nelson Mandela. God dang it. Nelson Mandela. He's a martyr forever. And he was in jail for a very long time, which was insane to me. However, Donald Trump at most could do a year in jail. You put him in jail, he win the election, he runs the country from in jail, and when he get out, it's going to be some furniture moving up in here. Now, the scenario that I think is most likely is that he won't do no time in jail, he'll be on probation. Now, what they claim is that a person that's a convicted felon can't have a security clearance. But here's the thing. This has never happened in the history of this country where somebody was convicted of a felony and they had to combat or contest with security clearance and access. But none of that matters because you can be the president and be a convicted felon. Our founding fathers did it that way so that you cannot create political prisoners, which means that you imprison your political opponents so they can't run and they can't win and they can't lead the country. In the country that we live in, shout out to the founding fathers who are probably rolling in their grave right now. They're rolling so fast, they're smoking. They're catching on fire. They're rolling so fast in their grave. That shout out to them for creating a situation where even if you try to put him in jail, he's going to get out. And I would argue, can he commune or pardon his own sentence? I don't think there's any rules and regulations in place to say he couldn't. And even if he couldn't, he served 4 years. He shove it up their rear end every chance he get. And then when he gets out and the Republican gets in, they can commune his sentence or whatever, pardon, whatever charge that ever existed against Donald Trump as if it never happened. I'm optimistic, ladies and gentlemen. I'm mad. Don't get me wrong. I'm upset with what happened to Donald Trump. It's a sham system. It's a two-tier system. But I'm optimistic because I honestly believe that Donald Trump is going to come out on top of this. I really do think God is trying to give us our country back. When I say trying to give us our country back, he's given us the ability to get our country back. God can take it over anytime he wants. He already in charge. But I think that he's trying to let us idiots down here figure it out, giving us one more chance to try to get this right before it's too late. And I think Donald Trump is the key to make that happen. I have never been more supportive of Donald Trump in my life than right now. Never. In 2016, I loved him. I liked him, whatever. Now, Donald Trump is on that level of a person that will go down in history as one that stood for America. 100 years from now, the great President Donald Trump will go down in history as one of the men who took the bold, courageous step to correct the wrongs in the face of a tyrannical government. And you know what the biggest victory is? It's not Trump, it's the people. The people stood, the people voted, the people supported the right way over tyranny, and we were victorious in this dispensation of time in our history. And we are the seed from this, our dependents or descendants, maybe that's a better word. Descendants will thank us for this courageous moment that we made the right decision. And conversely, for you cowards out there, you are going to be shamed for being on the wrong side of history because you didn't like somebody's tweets, because you don't like somebody's toupee, you don't like somebody's tan lines. Shut the front door. We got a country to save. And people take this for granted.